Hey, welcome to another video. And in this video, I'm going to share with you why you should train yourself to delay gratification and also how to make decisions on second and third order consequences. Now, pretty much, to get started, it's important to know, what are the differences so you can, better grasp the concepts. So instant gratification and delayed gratification. So what instant gratification is anything that you take an action, you get a gratification immediately. So for example, you watch a Netflix, right? You watch it, it's instant gratification. Now, reading a book is delayed gratification because when you read a book, you don't get an instant gratification right away. It's delayed because once you start implementing what's in the book, or you start consuming that information, you start learning, you're better able to grasp the gratification later on. So it doesn't always come immediate. And usually immediate instant gratification and delayed gratification usually have their opposites. And usually things that are instant gratification aren't good for you, and things that delay are better for you. And what this means is, when you start taking action on whatever it is that you're taking action on, you should be very wary of that action, that what is the consequence of taking that action. And this is where first order, second order, and third order consequences come in. So for example, first order consequence of you taking an action. So let's use business as an example. Business is delayed gratification, or its benefits usually come on second order consequence rather than the first order consequence, because usually the first order consequence of business is usually filled with lots of learning, lots of failure, rejection, hard work, long hours. That's pretty much what business is filled of, when you're starting off. So that's the first order consequence. And usually when people make decisions, they usually look at the first order consequence, or what is that instant gratification, something that gratifies them immediately, rather than something that delays that gratification. Because business is simply all about delayed gratification, because it doesn't come instant like results. So for example, if you're a marketing agency owner, you're wanting to get that first client, it's not going to come instant, right? It takes time. Sometimes you have to refine your offer, you have to refine your message, you have to refine your sales process. So all of this takes iteration, taking feedback, and improving over time. So then eventually you will get that first client, or whatever it is. There's different examples. So this is why it's important for you to train yourself not to expect things immediately, because in today's age, it's pretty much kind of normal for people wanting things immediately, because there's lots of things that you can do gain immediately. So if you want entertainment, you simply just grab your phone. Now if you want let's say watch a movie, it's on your phone. If you want to call an Uber, it's on your phone. If you want to rent out a Airbnb, it's on your phone. Everything pretty much is on your phone, and you pretty much get access to all of this immediately. If you want to order some food, you could just order it on your phone. Now what this essentially is doing to people is simply just training them to get things immediately, and all of these are instant. Now, and it's important to know, as I mentioned, that business, or usually other good things that come out of life, aren't instant. Now another example is kind of like going to the gym. The first order consequence is pain, sweat, and sore muscles afterwards. That's the first order consequence. The second order consequence of taking that action is that over time you're gonna start be in better shape, have more energy, reduce your stress, right, and overall just feel better. Now that's delaying the gratification, because the gratification is going to come later on. Now that doesn't have any instant gratification. So this is why instant gratification, delayed gratification usually are the opposites. So now let's say, for example, if you're a person who likes to watch lots of TV or watch Netflix, that has instant gratification. So the first order consequence is of taking that action is that you're entertained, right? So that's the first order consequence. The second order consequence is that it's like this, that you're simply just wasting your time, that you're simply just training your mind. If you're constantly doing this, I'm not saying that all the time, but if you're constantly always on Netflix, you're training your mind simply to become lazy, right? Because over time, this is what you're positioning your mind, your body to get used to, just simply sitting back, relaxing, and always just watching TV or Netflix. So essentially, that's over time what you're doing. You're training yourself to that. The third order consequence of that is that you simply have wasted a bunch of time. You probably haven't taken any action or any of your goals. So this is why it's important for you to pretty much find out what are the consequences of taking a specific action. What is the first order consequence of taking that action, and even what is the second order? And sometimes there's always the subsequent order consequences, because it usually doesn't stop at the second order. There's third order consequence, there's fourth order consequence, and it continues going. So you always want to ensure that you're always taking a look at what specific actions are you taking, and how does it contribute to your goal. So that's pretty much it. It's simply by recognizing what is instant gratification and delaying gratification. Now, it's important to know that everything that's instant gratification, not all the time is bad for you, because sometimes at the end of let's say of a long day. So let's say if you do focus on the main thing, which is growing your business throughout the entire day, then in the evenings you like to relax watching some Netflix. That's completely fine, because you already took care of the main thing first thing, and you're not training yourself to do that. So that's completely fine. So sometimes you need a bit. It's important to recognize that most things that are instant gratification aren't good for you. So for example, like if you're a person who likes to smoke weed, it's instant gratification. However, it's not good for you. So this is on my personal experience, and also other people that I know, the majority, is that when I used to smoke weed, or others that still do, they're lazy. It makes you not want to do anything. Your brain is pretty much foggy. It's kind of like the same thing like alcohol. It's instant gratification. You feel good at the moment. However, it has second order consequence. Later on, you probably don't feel that good. You're not as productive for your business. So it's important to distinguish those two, and find out when is the appropriate and at what moderate amounts that you consume this, or whatever it is that when you're taking that action. So I hope you found this video helpful. As always, if you like this video, drop a like. If you have any questions, comments, drop those here below, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video on Monday.